Saturday morning. I'm going to do some measuring for my drywall. I already have a rough idea how many pieces I need. I need to measure for insulation, at least on this wall, because it'll be completely covered up. This one I could still access it from the back. I am going to drywall the back, but I'm going to insulate it after I do the drywall. So it'll help me see the studs whenever I'm installing the drywall screws and stuff. I just want to get an idea of how I'm going to do this with the least amount of joints possible. I think I'm going to go vertical because it's about 12 foot wide and a little over 7 foot, 12 foot long, a little over 7 foot wide. And I might get away with going vertical just because it's 8 feet ceilings and I can almost do 2 complete and 1 cut on the edge and be good with that. I'm gonna go to Harbor Freight and see if I can get away with using this kind of ghetto drywall jack, because I am gonna be installing this by myself. So I'm gonna get creative here, use wood pieces to hold this drywall up. Probably put like a wood piece on that second layer of the top stud. Same thing right here, and maybe add one right here so I can slide the piece in enough where I can hit a couple screws. That's gonna be interesting. All right, I'm gonna do some measurements and then we're gonna head to Home Depot and grab our stuff. All right, 14 sheets of sheetrock. Got my insulation. I don't know if you can see that in there. Got my little squares, some other supplies. Oh, almost $400 later. I didn't realize sheetrock went up that high. I thought it was only like $7 a sheet. It's like almost it is $14 a sheet now. That's crazy. All right, I got a lot of work ahead of me. Okay, first sheet went a little rough. I cut exactly what I measured, and I figured out that's not a good thing to do because old construction's not perfectly square, so I had 0 tolerance for error. So I had to trim some. Luckily, a lot of this board goes up. It'll cover a 1/2 inch, and then you use your little corner bead, and that'll cover a lot of that. This is not like the same as putting up like siding or anything like that. You have room for error. This is how you hang ceiling drywall by yourself. So this is, I just have 1 screw in and it swivels, so it grabs it, and then that I mount 1/2 inch below the ceiling to slide it into. Same way with that side. So I have no screws in this board right now. It's just held up by those 3 boards right now. So now I can follow my screw lines on these 2 and go down the line on that guy. And I'll have 1 more board to put up on the ceiling, which I'll cut out my ceiling fan box for. And I will update you when I'm done with that. This is not easy work. Okay, it is the next morning. I don't remember where I left off. I got the ceiling finished. Got a few rough spots. First time doing it. But it could easily be fixed with tape and mud and all that. Not a big deal. So, got that done. Now, I will be putting on all my insulation on this outside wall and putting nail plates over the studs where the wire's coming through so I don't screw through them. And my goal is to have the whole interior drywall walls done today. And then next will be mudding and cleaning up all this giant mess. So I'm gonna put you on a time lapse and get this thing done. All right, so my time lapse died about not even halfway through it. I was putting on this piece right here and the time lapse, I just watched it back. So I got the whole room hung. Every little bit. It's not perfect, but it can all be fixed with mud. I have one of my friends, Danny. He used to do drywall for a living. He's gonna help me tape and mud. Do that. I'm gonna do a little prep work with the screws, and I might try my hand at a little taping by myself, just to get a hand of it. But I'm gonna need to get a bunch of stuff for it. So we're done right there. My plan is to do the mudding. So you see I have it's like a 3-inch gap at the bottom. I want to foam the whole surrounding part. And then I want to add probably a 1x wood strip on the bottom to mount my trim to whenever it comes time to that. So my plan is mud it, because it's going to be disgusting and messy, make a giant mess in here. Texture it. I'm doing a simple hand texture. It's nothing fancy, just hide all the imperfections. And then paint. And then I will do my subfloor, the little foam stuff, and my luxury vinyl flooring, and then I'll do my trim. And I'm trying to stick with the budget right here. I have black paint that came with this house. A lot of our house is painted like a gray and black, so I have black paint, and that's what I kind of want to do, is all black in here, black trim. I already have black outlets that I've ordered. I'll put black trim around the window, black baseboards, maybe a top little trim board around the edges, and black door, because in the future I plan on doing little soundproofing wall panels. They look like wood. They look kind of cool. I might add a picture in this video, maybe not. And then after it's painted, I'm gonna do my cutouts for my lights. I already have my measurements before I hung it, so I thought ahead on that part. And then the ceiling fan, I'm not very, I wish it was a little bit, I have a little bit more room to go this way, so I might cut that out and then patch the oversized hole that I cut out, because I want it a little bit more centered. But my stud is, oh, you can see the line of screws where the stud is, so my stud's right there. And then if I do decide to do a ceiling fan or a light in the middle, whatever, I'd probably do ceiling fan. I could do that. And I've decided to stick with this window. I reframed it a little bit before I hung the drywall to make it more sturdy, and I filled in all the foam around the outside. So I'll probably do like a thick trim. I don't really have much of a seal to work with. I'll probably build something out right here, a window sill, because my AC is going to sit right here, so I kind of want it not to be weak. But I'll paint it black. I'll clean the window up. It is cracked. I don't really give a crap about it. And then I'll seal it up, the outside edges in between the window and all that, and then I'll tint it black or do something. I'll hang curtains over it, obviously, too. That's another budget part, because windows are over $200 now for something like that. And it's crazy how expensive, notice the sound change, how expensive drywall has gotten. It's $15 a sheet now of 1/2 inch. And insulation, I know this is 24-inch like attic insulation, but that's $130 a bag. Nuts. I used to work at Home Depot like 12 years ago, and it was like $30 a bag then. I do have 2 sheets left of drywall. I guess I overcounted, or I'm just that good and I didn't have any scrap besides that. So I'll kind of cut this insulation down to 16-inch, because I did 16-inch on center on these studs, and do what I can on them. Because my plan is eventually to do the faux brick siding, but I'll just hang drywall, and it's a sound, multiple layers is a sound deadener, so it'll do nothing but help. So I'm gonna do, for now, drywall on the outside, and then my door. I'm not looking forward to spending over $100 on a damn simple door. But yep, that's that. I'm gonna probably end the video right here. I'm very tired and my back is killing me. Fuck, props to all the dudes that do drywall for a living, because this is no joke. I know they have all their equipment and stilts and all that, but doing it solo is no joke. I am worn out over the past 2 days. So throughout the week, I'm gonna do all my screw holes and maybe try my hand at a little taping just to get it prepped. And on the weekend after work, my buddy's coming over and we're gonna get it knocked out to the most part, at least enough where I'm comfortable doing it a second coat myself. And then he'll probably show me how to texture a little bit, and then we'll do texture. And then we'll be ready to paint. So it's going along nice. I'm happy with what I got done this week. Thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.